Welcome to Shotcast for Like It, the Man United direction, the channel for United and football fans, the biggest and best fan channel in the United States. We are talking Europa League, where Man United were away to Fenerbahce, Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce. Was he going to win? Was he going to draw? Was he going to have? We just don't know what we're going to expect in the Terror of Turkey. But joining us tonight, the one and only, the singing director of Denver and Houston Red Army, Louis. Welcome to the show, brother.
Oh, good to be back again, Tim.
Yep. I mean, your prediction was right. You said they won't lose. And
Yeah, no, I mean,
your lineup was literally nearly actually near 80% correct.
yeah, no, it was, what did I say? I said 2-1.
Yeah.
I was trying to be positive. I was trying, or I said 1-0 as well.
Mm.
I knew it would be tight. I knew it would be tight. I knew it would be relatively low scoring. I didn't think anybody was going to run away with it.
Yeah.
Definitely some good, definitely some bad, definitely some ugly. Um, but no, overall, it was definitely by far not the worst performance we've ever seen.
I mean, Fenerbahce were not as great as I thought they were, you know. They were
I,
not fantastic. I mean, I thought I expected more from them. Maybe
in moments, I think that I mean what I expected from Fenerbahce overall was not so much great play, not so much great team play and this and that. It was going to be moments. It was going to be physical. Overall, it was going to be gritty, which it was. A lot more flopping from Fenerbahce than I expected.
Mhm.
I thought there was definitely some gamesmanship overall, but Turkey at home, that crowd is pumped up. I think they were trying to do whatever they could to get a win.
Right.
Um, yeah, so about where I expected them to be.
Right. So, I mean, that lineup you saw, you can see behind me. You were right. I mean, when I we did the fan reaction on Saturday after the game we had on Saturday, we did look at it like mm. Most people said Xerxes would start.
Right.
A lot of people thought Ahmad would start, but I kind of knew he was the Ahmad. I knew he was going to be Rashford and Garnacho, especially with the form Garnacho's currently showing at the moment, you know. And they scored a good goal. That was well worked. They put the ball, one, two, three, four, laid it on, and was well executed. But the goal we conceded, bloody hell, Lindelof, what the fuck? Are you asleep? I
Yeah.
mean, duh.
No, definitely the worst moment of the game overall. And look, I don't even think he played bad. I think first half, he was solid overall. I thought it was definitely a lineup that made you do a double take, right? We looked at it. It was uh, Lindelof. I think we kind of expected that maybe he would see some game time. We weren't necessarily sure if he would start.
Mm,
Um, uh, I think what I predicted was Masraoui,
I didn't see that
Delict,
coming.
Martinez, and Evans, and then of course Evans got hurt right before kickoff, right day before kickoff. It's
One thing
announced
after the other.
he picks up the knock at Brentford. He decides he's not ready to go. So it makes sense that Lindelof is in there. But look, I thought the back six were extremely solid. I thought Agarte played well. I thought
He's a
Ericsson
hard
played
tackler.
extremely
A bit.
well.
Do you think he's a bit erratic, but he seems to be very hard and firm on his tackles?
Who's that?
Ugarte.
Ugarte. I think it's early days. I think it's early days. I think we're going to see basically what we saw today, which is I think as far as team instruction, structure, and understanding, I think we see it. And then it's the unknown variables. There's going to be spills. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be there's just going to be moments where these players are caught out, and they're going to have to react and they're going to have to recover. And look, I thought he did extremely well, especially he saves a ball off the line. Um,
Mm.
Tracking back, working extremely hard,
It's
to
just
get
that
there.
moment when he switched off, like,
Yeah, right, exactly. It comes off of a moment where we're not where we're very disorganized, but from in a professional sense, right? He does exactly what he needs to do. Recognizes the disorganization, recognizes the threat, and he closes it down. And it's a very good moment overall. Um,
Yeah,
but
but the
yeah,
chance
just
Haaland had, the Rasmus that could just Garnacho was free. Just roll that ball there. He tried to shoot by himself. You see, it's like everybody wants to come be the winner, score the winning goal. They don't. I don't
yeah,
know.
there's definitely a lot of moments in front of goal where like, and this is where we are as far as Manchester United is concerned. Like we said it in when we did the preview, this was always going to be a difficult game. This was
Yes,
always going to be a difficult game. It was a very winnable game. We knew that we were in a very good position to win, but we're not there yet.
yet.
We're not the finished article, and we know that finishing is a problem with us. Garnacho had two very good chances where the shots were on target, but they're very soft. Rashford,
Yeah.
like 20 minutes in, brilliant move, cuts inside, has a great shot at the goalkeeper, and he misses by, I mean, margins, right? Hoyland had a couple, Garnacho had a couple, Rashford had that one, Ericsson had a couple. Trying to think who else
So
took shots.
this match was
Delo had
winnable.
one. Delo had the cutback. It was kind of an awkward moment. Doesn't really get his head up. Probably should have finished. Yeah, I mean, look, there was definitely it. That's where we can't say that it's a bad result because we did create the moments and we did create the chances. Now the
Right.
finishing, of course, that was the issue.
Mm.
Um, and you have to finish and you have to put those games away if you want to reach
100%,
that
man.
if you want to reach that next
100%.
level. And we're just clearly not there yet. But I can't say overall that it was a bad game. And look, if anyone goes through my phone and reads my text right at the whistle at 90
Mm.
minutes, yeah, I was upset. I was frustrated. I think a lot of people were. But again, Turkey away, we know is going to be difficult. We know Fenerbahce is not going to roll over. And we didn't lose. And we didn't lose. And our hardest games in the Europa, I think that we spoke about, were going to
Mm.
be Porto and Fenerbahce back to
Yeah.
back, and we've gotten past it. We've
We
gotten
got
past
to
it with
pass
two
those.
points. Sorry,
I said we have gone past those two games.
we've gotten past them, and we didn't lose. We dropped points, but we didn't lose. So you know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of potential for us to climb here, and there's a lot of potential from this game to kind of bounce back from.
So do you think, as it is now, people are saying United play three games in Europa and they've only got 3 points, drawn all three.
Mm.
Is there a concern for you?
Not yet, because again, there's still games to play, and I mean, look, there's teams that are worse off. Um, you know, it's also difficult to say because you have this new league format, right? So,
Yes.
you know, if you're looking at it from the old format and you're like, oh, three draws, like that's it, we're done. When it's
Yeah,
like, oh, no, that's not the case
definitely.
anymore because there's more games to play.
Right.
Um, you know, it's difficult, but at the same time, we're not in the absolute worst position that that we possibly could be in. If I look at the Europa League now,
We are, I mean, say we're 20.
we are in towards the next round, right? You
Mm.
have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12
Let's say we're
teams
21st.
that are fighting being booted, right? You have
Mm.
12 teams that are fighting, you know, being dropped, three teams still behind us.
Mm.
It's not a horrible place to be. Is it where you want to be? No, you want to be in the top eight. You want to go through. Um, but but again, three games in, we are 6 points off the top. We are 4 points off of the automatic berth. It's not the end of the world.
It's not
It's
the
not
end of
the
the
end of the
world.
world. It's super frustrating and it's super disappointing because we definitely could have won today. Last half hour, it was all United.
I
Last 10
saw a
minutes,
BBC stat saying if this
mm,
was a boxing match, we had Fenerbahce on the rope and we would have won the boxing match on points because
they
we
went the
were
distance, man. They stayed on their feet. They stayed on their feet. They went the distance. They didn't, they were hanging on the ropes, but they never touched the canvas. And
what is wrong
that's
with your boy Marino? What is his problem, bro?
Honestly, that one I disagree. I disagree with the red card. But I was also just
Ah,
about to say
typical.
that
It has to be him, eh?
I was literally just about to say that you also have to understand that Fenerbahce has one of the best coaches of the modern era. Um,
Hmm.
think of what you will about Mourinho, and I've said a lot of things about him over the years because I've
Right.
disagreed with him in a lot of instances. But he's a
Mm.
phenomenal coach. He's a phenomenal coach. He's a phenomenal tactician. He's going to look for weaknesses. He's going to exploit weaknesses, which he did in Lindelof.
Oh
Um,
yeah. He
you
signed
know,
Lindelof.
you know,
He signed
yeah,
Lindelof.
yeah, he knows these. He knows a lot of these players. A lot of these guys were around in the Mourinho era, and he took
Yeah.
advantage, and he got a point. I will say the red card for Mourinho. I thought that was a
Don't
little
agree with it.
extreme. He's clearly upset. He's trying to call for the VAR. I'm sure from where he was standing, he could not see that his player clearly dove. It was
Yeah.
clear dive, no
Yeah, that
contact, no
dive, the
penalty.
way he did that jump up, like, come on, man.
Right, exactly. Like he
Come
tried to
on.
sell it, and what
Yeah. He tried
Mourinho,
to
like
sell
you
it.
saw, like the gestures, like all Mourinho was doing, he was calling for the VAR. He's like, "Where's
Mm,
the
mm,
VAR?"
mm, mm, mm.
And he gets the red card because he leaves the technical area, and
Yes.
then he's like
In
shouting at
the
the referee.
Europa rules are stricter. You notice they're much strict.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
with this performance now, what would you grade on a scale of 1 to 10? What would you grade this performance? Anthony's injured.
That
He looks
was a
serious when they stretched him off. He looks serious.
that was a shame. That was a shame. That was probably the only sub I really didn't agree with.
Why didn't
The
he bring on
only the only
why didn't he bring on what's his name? Ahmed.
justification
Then he bring on Anthony.
The only justification I could possibly give
Mm.
is that he's trying to give him minutes to put him up in the shop window for January. That being said, this was not the time to
Well,
do
we won't
that.
be seeing
It
that
was
anymore.
1-1. You very much could have won. I would have started Ahmad overall. I think he gives you the balance. I think he's the more creative player. I
Yeah.
think I
He's more
think
creative than Rashford, you know that, right?
by far. And I think
I feel
he
Rashford is using his popularity and who he is.
100%. Look, 300 plus K a week. You're not going to bench him. But in that case, bench Garnacho and let Garnacho come on off the bench because I heard today it was a very good point. Like if you put both those players off the left, right, Garnacho
Mm,
and Rashford, and you say
mm,
week to week, whoever starts is based on performance. Then whoever you do start works his ass off to perform and to keep his spot because he has to know that if he doesn't perform, that yeah, a player that is just as good, that is quality, is waiting in the wings. And I feel like that's for both players. If you start
mm,
Garnacho, he's got to know that about Rashford. If you start Rashford, he's got to know that about Garnacho. And I
mm.
just think that the service from the right is more consistent and more creative when you have Ahmad there. Um, but that being said, like, yeah, I understand why you do start Rashford because it was the same in the Ollie era and it was the same in the Mourinho era. It was the same in the Radnick era. It's player power and it's money. So okay, so you start him, fine. Um, why you bring on Anthony is beyond me. It's 1-1. You have the ball, you have the chances, you're threatening. I mean, it's coming through, and you need something, and you bring on Anthony. And immediately, the first thing that we see is that he starts to over dribble. He starts to over dribble. He's confident in his dribble. He's confident in his 1v1s, but he's losing the ball. He's not beating players. I don't know what the injury is. I don't know how serious it is. I don't know if maybe a player just said something and he decided to throw the toys out the pram. I don't know what it is.
Right.
I don't know what it is, but for me, like it's such number one, it's a waste of a sub because obviously he gets injured and Ahmad's going to come on anyway.
Exactly.
But number two, it just wasn't the game. It just wasn't the game. If you were up 3-0, fine, put him on, get him some minutes, get him in the shop window. Let's ship him out in January. Um, yeah, he's lost all credibility, I think, at this point, just because when he does come on, he doesn't perform. He doesn't create. It's zero impact all the time. And you have this player, Ahmad, and there's a lot of speculation about what's going on with that one, whether it's contract issues or it's managerial issues or whatever the case may be. Um, you know,
I feel. Um, I feel Ten Hag doesn't rate Ahmed, even though he saw how good Ahmed was. Because Ahmed had a good preseason, you know,
Mhm.
but
No,
he's
he did. He,
still putting his eggs on the Rafford horse. He's putting him on the Rafford horse. That's what I think.
Ahmad definitely has a cult following, right? You know, he definitely has his fan base, and rightfully so. It's earned in a lot of respects. He was good at Rangers on loan. He was good in the preseason,
Yep.
um, and when he's come on, he when he comes on later in games, he makes an impact.
That's what I'm
It was
saying.
Liverpool. It was oh gosh, it was
Arsenal,
Arsenal. He scores like these moments, like he comes on and he's impactful. And like if you're not going to start him, fine. Like I'm okay with that because he is so impactful coming off the bench, and he's still young. And you could use that as a justification.
right?
Don't bring on a player that has absolutely zero impact. For me, that was the literally the only thing with Ten Hag that I disagreed with today. I thought
Right.
everything else, I thought it was risky, the starting lineup, but it worked. Mazraoui, when we were talking, sorry, we were talking about players that should have finished their chances. Mazraoui had two really good
He had
chances.
good chances.
He had some really good chances, and they were well
He had
taken.
one the keeper tipped over, and
Yeah,
Delete
he
had the header
forced the
that the keeper
goalkeeper to make
saved over as
saves.
well.
Yeah,
Keepers
like
put them, saved them. The keeper did had more work to do than Onana had.
definitely, like it was a risk putting him into 10, but I thought it worked. It was a risk putting Lindelof. I thought it worked until Lindelof made that
Went to sleep.
horrible mistake. But what was the result? He made the mistake, and Ten Hag said, "All right, that's it. You're done." And when he made that sub, Mazraoui went back towards the right, or sorry, to the left, and then Martinez came in with the low, and yeah, it shored up the back, and we were solid. And Fenerbahce did not have any real threatening chances for like the last half hour, 25 minutes.
Right,
Um, so honestly, all the other subs, bravo, well done. I thought,
right, right.
I loved the lineup. I enjoyed it. I thought Ericsson played extremely well. I think he's our most consistent midfielder. Um, I think I was happy that there was no Bruno. I was
Okay.
happy that there was no Bruno, not because Bruno's bad, but because I've been saying that man needs a rest because he works. He's the hardest working man in football. And without him, we did well. Onana saves, distribution was good. The back line we were able to build. We played around there. We played around their nine several times in the build out. Nice, quick 1-2s.
Mm,
Quick
mm,
build. Broke those lines and played forward was very very nice. Yeah, I mean, just the finishing. Root still got a lot of work to do, but
right,
no, man, I can't say that it was a very bad game. Just bad moments, man. And
right,
Anthony definitely a bad decision. And then Lindelof just falls
right.
asleep
On
there.
a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give the
Ah,
subs the
I would I
tactics
would I would give it I would give it a 6
a
because we
six?
only because a professional game 1-1, good decent result. Let's call it a decent result.
Right,
Should have won. That would have pushed it towards a 7, towards an 8. Um, but yeah, just 6 for me at this
six
point.
for
But
me.
this does mean, and we said it in the preview, you got to win on Sunday.
You got to win on Sunday. So West Ham, are you still sticking with a victory on at London?
I think so. I think they're struggling overall. I don't think that if I had to choose, if I was the manager and they
Mm.
said you can play, you get one game to save your job, Fenerbahce
Right.
or West Ham. I'm picking
Mm.
West. I'm picking West Ham. I would
Okay.
much rather
Wow,
play
you're
West Ham than
confident
I
on
would
that.
play Fenerbahce right now. And that's honestly, look, Fenerbahce fourth in the Turkish league, and they're doing
Where
decent in
are West Ham in the
Europa.
Premier League?
They're below us.
Mm.
Where are
Okay.
they?
We better get our act
Let's
together.
see. Hold on. We can find this. Let's see.
So give us your prediction for Sunday, and we'll shut the
Sunday,
shop.
I'm gonna say 2-0 to United.
2-0 to United in
2-0
London.
to United.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna,
well,
I'm calling
fans,
it
you've
right now.
heard it. You've heard it from Louis. He's saying 2-0 to United
West Ham are
in London.
15th.
Hmm?
They're 15th.
15th. That's
15th. Two
third to the
wins,
bottom,
two
innit?
draws, 2 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses.
Aren't they 15th? That's like what? Fourth to the bottom?
That is
Yeah,
fifth, or fifth to the bottom.
fifth to the bottom.
They're three spots outside of the relegation zone.
Oh,
Relegation zone is 18th,
bottom
19th,
four.
20th. Yeah. I mean, they're down there. They're down there.
And United
They
are currently
are
where now? What where are United?
we are 12th with 11
Dang.
points. West Ham are with 8.
And
Uh,
who's the top of the table? Liverpool, right?
Liverpool is the top with 21 out of
And
7
that's
games.
already how many points
Or
ahead of
sorry, out
us
of 8
now?
games. It's Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Villa.
Liverpool, City, Arsenal. And Liverpool, you said they have how many points?
Liverpool have 21 right now.
The person in fourth spot, who's in fourth?
Fourth is Villa with 17. So we're only 6 points off of fourth.
6 points off fourth. And we're
We're
10
six
points
points
off
off fourth
first.
and 10 points off. 10 points off first.
Wow.
It's not, look, we're still in the first third of the
Of
season.
the season,
First
still
third
very
is coming
early.
towards
It
an
looks like it's
end.
been longer, but it's not.
I know, right? It
Right?
feels every
Well,
season now feels like an eternity.
well, you've told us how you've given the scale of your scale, your marking, your grading. Who was your man of the match before we go? Who was your man? Who was the United's best player today, in your
Honestly, I
opinion?
heard a lot of people say Onana. I heard a lot of people say Ugarte. For me, it was Ericsson. I enjoy. Look, I'll say it again. Ericsson is our most consistent midfielder at the moment. I don't think he's our best midfielder, but as far as every performance and every time he goes 90 minutes, because he's been going 90 minutes a lot. Every time he goes 90 minutes, he's absolutely consistent. He takes care of the ball defensively. He's solid. He's not as fast, so sometimes he does get beat with those type of balls, but he creates. He scored goals. I think that's his fourth goal
Fourth
today.
goal, fourth goal.
Yeah, dude, so well rounded. I think today, and the goal was a team goal. It was great. It was
Yeah.
well built,
You know,
but
the ball
the
comes,
finish, but
Xerxes,
the
Garnacho, Rashford. I mean Rashford or Xerxes, then Xerxes lays
yeah,
it off.
back to Xerxes, and then Xerxes got the assist. And I mean, and it was just well worked, and it was well placed.
Yeah.
I don't think he put a foot wrong. I don't think he. I
No.
don't think he
It
put a
was a
foot
good
wrong.
goal. Good goal. Good
Yeah,
team goal. It's just the set piece we can see that really made. Come on, mate. But
yeah.
that was
And of
we've
course,
talked
it
of
comes right. It comes what 3 minutes into the second half, which is gonna.
exactly when you see when you go back in the second half, you keep it tight. But we just go in there and concede a goal and something like, did you
Yeah,
guys
it's just
actually listen to the team talk in halftime? So early, already considered the goal like, oh God. Well, but this is Manchester United. Well, thank you for watching us today and thank you for joining us. Man United won, Fenerbahce won, Marino gets a red card, Anthony gets stretched off, Ericsson scores his fourth goal, and United get a result. They were held, they were looking to win, had the better chances, but we need to finish. We need to finish. We need to finish. Goals win games and nothing
That's
else.
right.
Right, Louis, it's
Well,
been a
I'll leave
yeah,
you.
go on.
I'll leave you with this. One of my early mentors as a coach. He said this, and it stuck with me. He said, "If you do not score goals, you will watch the other team score goals."
Oh yeah, yeah, without a doubt, you will. You don't. So all roads lead to London on Sunday. So Louis, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on all the social media platforms. We shall see you on Sunday, where United will be going to West Ham. Louis, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, Louis. You take care, brother.
Thanks so much,
Glory,
Tim. Always a
glory.
pleasure. Man
Man
United.
United. See you soon.